Hello and welcome to another episode on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Let me just check my layout here. There we go. Oh, what an emotional build-up to the game for Liverpool fans as we come to terms that Jurgen Klopp will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. As you can see from the TV, that the crowd was singing "You Never Walk Alone" before the game. It was certainly louder than normal. A lot of emotional faces in the crowd. And you can see it in Klopp's face as well, and I'm sure he felt the same. But hey, we've got business to deal with as we face Norwich City. And what a game it was. We beat Norwich City 5-2. Plenty of goals and discussions about the game. So let's get underway. This is a calling show, so if you'd like to come on and have your say, the floor is yours. The link is available in the description. It's also pinned in the live chat. So before we discuss the first half, let's analyze the team lineups. So in terms of Liverpool, the team I predicted was certainly a lot stronger than what Klopp fielded in the end, which, to be fair, I'm quite happy about. Kwanzaa came in to start alongside Konate. And McConnell starts as a number 6, which was certainly a surprise. And Gakpo starts the game in place for Diaz. And for Norwich, Wagner went for experience up top as Ashley Barnes led the line. Jonathan Rowe was not available for this fixture. So it was Hernandez that started on the left wing. And then you had Fasnat, who started on the right wing, and McCullum and Hanley starting the defense to complete their lineup. So let's discuss the first half. Joey G, in the 4th minute, cuts inside, has a shot from distance, hits the side netting. He's getting closer and closer. He will break that deadlock this season. I say this, I feel like every week on the match reaction show. But yeah, hopefully we'll be actually celebrating his goal more than saying that he's actually getting closer. But, you know, still a lot of games to go. Hopefully he can do it this season. In the 8th minute, Gakpo has an effort from Gravenberch's cross, but his effort goes over the bar. And around the 10th minute, Nunes was so close from opening the score sheet as he hits a low shot from the left side, hits the far post in the end, and very unlucky with that strike. But in the 16th minute, Liverpool managed to break the deadlock. Lovely left-footed cross from McConnell towards Curtis Jones, who beautifully guides the ball into the corner. Great finish from the midfielder there. And then 21st minute, Norwich respond to find the equaliser. It was Sarah who hits a lovely left-footed corner from the right-hand side. Gibson leaps and the ball somehow manages to bounce off his back and finds itself in the back of the net. In that goal, I wouldn't really blame Alisson as the header or the shot itself was right in the top corner, so a difficult one to save. And then in the 27th minute, Liverpool restored the lead. Great play by Bradley, who was phenomenal today, to intercept the ball. A 1-2 with Jota on the right-hand side. Bradley then finds himself down the byline, squares it to Nunes, who takes his first touch and shoots into the bottom corner. Nice finish from Nunes and great play and determination by Bradley. On the half-an-hour mark, Liverpool should have made it 3-1. Lovely through ball from Gomez to Bradley. He stretches to square the ball to Gakpo, but he scuffs the ball without making any real effort on goal. I think maybe Bradley should have gone for goal there himself. Unselfish play from the fullback. And in the 31st minute, Gravenberch has a chance as Norwich gives the ball away from a goal kick. It was so quick that we weren't even able to see the build-up play as the ITV was showing the replay from the previous incident. He gets the ball, cuts inside to find the extra yard, hits a shot, and then the shot ends up going past the goalkeeper. So you think he's going to hit the back of the net. Unfortunately for Gravenberch, there was 2 defenders on the line that made the clearance. Around the 37th minute, Liverpool on the attack again. Great play between Gravenberch and Gakpo, who has the shot towards goal, but it was dragged wide. And in the 44th minute, last bit of the action in the first half, Norwich have a chance as Hanley has a header towards goal. Comfortable save for Alisson. And that's halftime. A decent performance from Liverpool. Personally, I was disappointed with conceding the goal as it came from a set piece. Norwich didn't really trouble us whatsoever. But from that sort of first half, there was enough shown in terms of quality to suggest that we'll get more goals in the second half. And that's exactly how it panned out. And strangely, they actually did the 5th draw just before the second half. And Liverpool have been picked to play against Watford or Southampton. They drew today, so they'll be playing a replay very soon. So hopefully it'll be one of the two. We'll find out very soon. In terms of the second half, Liverpool started off very positively. Jota applies a lovely touch to Gakpo, who goes through on goal. He controls the ball, hits a shot, blocked by the Norwich defence. And then around the 40th minute, Sarah has a long shot from distance. Had a quiet game against us, to be fair. He's been quite influential, especially from the attacking point of view. He hits the shot with power, but just misses the target. Around the 50th minute, lovely play from Liverpool. A lot of passes, probably like 20 passes altogether, leading up to Curtis Jones finding a half yard inside the area. He hits a shot, fantastic goal shot, to be fair. Just misses the target. And in the 53rd minute, Curtis Jones hits an exquisite ball to Jota from his own half. Gibson manages to get a little touch on it with his head, not enough to stop that move. Jota finds the loose ball, hits a left foot volley on the bounce, and finds the back of the net. Lovely and finish there from the old goal. Now, moments before the goal, there was a penalty shout as Norwich's winger Hernandez pretty much catches the ball in the box. An obvious penalty. From what we were told, VAR reviewed it, but nothing came from it. The commentator suggested that it's because we scored straight away. But if my memory recalls, that pass from Curtis Jones came from the defense where it was given a goal kick and then it led to that second move. I might be wrong on that one, but thankfully we scored the goal, so it doesn't have an impact in terms of the score or the outcome of the game. And then just before the hour mark, Klopp makes a triple substitution, and there were some, friendly faces that we saw. Konate, Gomez, and Jones are off for Van Dijk, Robbo, and Szoboszlai. 58th minute, Gravenberch has a crack on goal as he drives with the ball, but his shot just goes over the bar. And then around the 61st minute, Liverpool on attack again as Szoboszlai threads the ball to Darwin Núñez, who controls it and shoots, but his shot is deflected for a corner. But lucky for us, next minute, up steps Szoboszlai for the corner. He finds Van Dijk in the box and hits a bullet header into the back of the net. Great set piece from the Reds. And then literally a couple of minutes later, Darwin Núñez comes off, and then Trent Alexander-Arnold makes a return, which is another good sight. So in terms of our tactical approach, Bradley looks like he's playing left wing at that time, and then Trent ended up in right back, but playing more of a free role, so a more of an inverted role, but not for too long. 68th minute, Borja Sainz, who's just come off the bench for Norwich City, makes an instant impact, hits a long shot from the edge of the box, and it smashes the back of the net. Lovely finish from the winger. And then the 77th minute, unfortunately, one of our youngsters, McConnell, picked up an injury. Firstly, hopefully it's nothing too serious, as he was fantastic today. He gets a huge round of applause from the crowd, and rightly so. Diaz comes onto the pitch to take his place, obviously changing shape again. Gakpo moves over to the right wing, Diaz on the left wing, and that makes Trent Alexander-Arnold our main midfielder as a 6, and Bradley is back at right back. 78th minute, Liverpool on the attack again. That starts from Bradley. They ended up with a couple shots towards goal. All sorts going on in that moment there. First shot was from Jota, whose shot was blocked, and then Gravenberch tries to follow up with his effort, but that effort was fantastically saved by the keeper on the line. I thought it was a goal at first glance, but from the replay, it was literally on the line. And then the 87th minute, Szoboszlai hits a sweet shot with his left foot from the outside of the box. Saved by the keeper. That's the kind of movement I want to see from Szoboszlai. Taking shots from distance. He did that a couple of times today, which was good to see. And then the 88th minute, Trent hits a fantastic strike with a lot of swerve from the outside of the box. Parried away by the keeper. Jota follows up with a first-time shot. Hits it with pure power, but unfortunately couldn't keep it down. It goes over the bar. And after that, Liverpool produced some good moments of attack towards the latter stages. Nothing clear-cut until the 94th minute. Conor Bradley with the assist again, who flashes across into the 6-yard box. Gravenberch heads it into the back of the net and makes it 5-2. So what a performance from Liverpool. Considering there was a lot of players that were rotated, you couldn't really tell from the level of play. The match certainly lived up to previous fixtures where it's always full of goals. And this team, doesn't matter who we play on the pitch, gives me confidence going forward. The return of Szoboszlai, Trent, and Robertson is a mouth-watering prospect for our upcoming fixtures in the Premier League and other competitions. But in terms of the FA Cup, as I mentioned earlier, we're through to the 5th round and we'll be facing either Watford or Southampton. So a lot of great performances today. So it's only right that we do the player ratings. As I mentioned, it's a calling show, guys. So if you'd want to come on the show and have your say, hit the link in the description. It's also pinned in the live chat, and I'll try and get you on after the player ratings. So let me share the graphics with you guys. Actually, before I do, we'll go through the comments first. So an alternative contrarian says, great to see Robbo, Sobo, and Trent back. It's a bit of a mouthful there. Yeah, totally agree with you there. Chelsea up next, and you've said Watford or Sutton and for next round. So yeah, we'll see how that fixture pans out. Don't really have a preference on who we play. It's at Anfield, which is always a positive, and it's teams that I'm sure we can definitely beat. Probably field a similar team that we did today, and I think we'll do a job. So yeah, one to look forward to. And Dad says big up to Ozzie. So thank you, Dad. Big up to yourself as well. Bless up, bro. Thank you, Jay Kismet. And then you've got who said, Jazz said, bless up, Jay Kismet, mate. Don't forget to do your predictions. And Dad says big up. And then yep, support there as well. And Dad says should have been given, Ozzie. So I'm think you're referring to that penalty shot I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it should definitely been given. I don't know. I kind of wanted to know if it was dismissed by VAR or is because we literally scored straight away. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But because we scored, doesn't really have a huge impact. But I would have liked to have known what the angle was from VAR, because if they just dismissed it because they didn't think it was a worthy penalty, that's another discussion. So yeah, luckily it didn't affect the outcome of the game. So yeah, can't complain too much about that. Let me present the graphics and then we can go through the team. So let's start with Alisson. So as you can see on the graphics, unfortunately, the website I used doesn't have McConnell on the team sheet. So I've had to add a random McConnell there. So yeah, the name's there. The face doesn't fit with the profile, but I'm sure you'll get the gist. So let's start with Alisson, who started the game as a captain today. I thought he was really good today. He didn't have to make too many shot-stopping saves, but in terms of what he had to do, he was clean cut. So there were a lot of crosses into the box, and he caught pretty much all of the balls. Didn't really look troubled. Good on the feet as well. So for me, a solid performance all around. Didn't have to do anything spectacular, but sometimes that can be a good thing from a goalkeeper's point of view. So in terms of his rating, I'll give him a solid 8 out of 10. In terms of, let's start with Joe Gomez. So Joe Gomez, again, close to opening his goal scoring account in the opening few minutes of the game. And nearly caught me off surprise. I just had to get a drink, and I walked back to the screen. I saw him taking that turn and shot. So I was hoping he'd go in, but no, it wasn't to be today. But he had a solid performance all round. Really, really good. Wasn't troubled from what I remember at all. Comfortable on the ball. Did the inverted roll thing today, which is good to see. He's got another skill set to his game, and does it to a very good standard, in my opinion. So, no, another solid performance from Joe Gomez. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. In terms of Kwanzaa for me was very good today. Once again, a couple of moments where I feel like he got pressed on quite a bit and lost the ball, but that was like maybe one instance here and there. But generally, I thought it was very good. In the second half, I was quite impressed. There was one or two occasions, one that sticks to my mind, where he had the ball and he was closed in quite a lot by a couple of players, but managed to keep his composure. So he learned from his mistake, I would say, from the first half, and kept the ball moving, very composed on the ball. Wasn't really outplayed, made a couple of good blocks, especially in the second half. So no, a good, solid performance from him. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. In terms of Kanate, I was, very impressed with him. First half, there were quite a few moments where he tried to ping long balls, and the accuracy wasn't there. So that's one area of his game that I feel like he really needs to work on to be an elite defender, in my opinion. Everything else he's really good at. That area of the game, I think if he works on it, he can definitely polish it up. But had a good performance. Obviously, was off around the hour mark, so didn't play the full game. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Connor Bradley, he was sensational today. Yeah, what can I... He had almost a perfect performance today. The only thing he didn't score a goal. He did have that chance where he ended up scoring it to Gakpo, but I feel like he should have actually gone for goal himself. Other than that, first half, he was phenomenal. Attacking that byline from an attacking point of view, fantastic. And he has shown really good first touch, and his passing variation had some good quality on there. I can't lie. I feel like the other two performances, he showed a good account of himself defensively, but today, from an attacking point of view, oh, he was fantastic, energetic. I wouldn't say he's like for like Trent. He's like a right side Robertson, if that's the sort of like comparison you want, because he works hard for the team, provides the width on the right hand side, and his crossing is really good as well. So very intelligent player. Defensively, yeah, he put in a shift as well. He's aggressive in the tackle, which I like to see. So for today, I don't really do this often. He gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Just because he didn't get a goal doesn't mean he doesn't have a perfect sort of score for me. I thought he was fantastic. There was nothing he put a foot wrong, in my opinion. Really, really good performance. And look, we've always had this issue in the past where we're like, if Trent's out of the team, what do we do? Like, we've got Gomez, but, you know, in the past 12, 18 months, Gomez hasn't really been that great. Obviously, the last few months, he's been phenomenal. So we've always thought maybe a right back is an area we need to improve or have an additional player in our squad. I don't think we need to look elsewhere. And I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but from what I've seen so far, he's more than capable of being a good squad player and come in and do a shift at right back when required. And now, with a lot of games coming up, I have a lot of confidence in playing him now. Before, maybe it was like, oh, he's a youngster, he's untested. Now, you know, we've got Chelsea and Arsenal, but then when we've got Burnley up after that as well, I'll be happy to play Connor Bradley, rest Trent for the Europa League games or any other games that we have in terms of FA Cup. We can rotate the squad a little bit more, so keep these players fresh. So he's just added another good headache where, you know, Gomez and Bradley in the last few weeks have been fantastic. We've got Robertson and Trent back in the fold. So now it's a big decision from Klopp. What do we do going ahead? Obviously, I'll do the match preview for the next fixture so we can talk in more detail. But it's a great headache to have players that we know when if they come in, they can do a shift. And Bradley's got the mentality for me as well, because he's come out in interviews saying that, look, Trent is the best player in the world, or one of the best players in the world in that position. I'm just here to do my job for the team. So he's not trying to get ahead of himself thinking I'm going to replace Trent in the team. He knows this is a team effort, which is a good mentality to have. So no, fantastic performance. I don't really give 10 out of 10 a lot, but I think everything he did today was absolutely spotless. Just going to go through some of the comments here. So yeah, if you're watching and you want to give your score as well, feel free to drop a comment. So Jay Kismet has given a 6 for Alisson, which is interesting. Daz is given 7.5 for Alisson. And then Daz asks to Jay Kismet, do you have any way of getting hold of Frank? So I think that's one of their friends there. Gomez, an 8 from Daz as well, so the same for me. Kwanzaa, 8, so pretty much similar. Ibu, 7.5. And you've agreed with me with the Bradley score there, 10 out of 10. Yeah, he was fantastic today. Gomez, 7 from Jay Kismet. Given Bradley an 8, which is fair enough. I thought, yeah, I had 9.5 at one point during the game, but then he had that assist. So he had 2 assists today as well. Let's not forget the last goal, and then he had an assist earlier on in the game. So yeah, he was fantastic for me. Kwanzaa, you're giving him a 6, which is interesting. I thought that was quite a low score. And Clancy, you're giving a 7. So interesting scoring there from Jay Kismet. Back to the team. So back to our midfield now. So let's start with McConnell. Yeah, to be fair, I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of McConnell. I know from sort of his youth football, he played more of a centre mid role, so more of a number 8. To see him brought in as a number 6 was a surprise for me. I was probably expecting McAllister to start today. But what a performance he did. There were quite a few moments in the first half where he gave the ball away. But he's a youngster, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. But no, he grew in confidence. It didn't affect him, which for me, that shows mentality. Where if you're, you know, having some passes that have gone a bit stray and it affects your sort of way of playing afterwards, I feel like, you got to have a stronger mentality where, you made a bad pass, doesn't matter. You're going to have the ball again. Make sure that one's better. So if you've got that mentality, you'll always progress and you'll keep improving as a player. So for me, as his sort of, I think I would like to say it's his first team debut today, isn't it? So I thought he did a great job. Provided the assist for the Curtis Jones goal, the header. So yeah, did a great job. So for me, another solid ranking. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, considering how he's come into the team with no real sort of experience. Probably wasn't expected to start until probably today. Probably wasn't informed. I think McAllister was scheduled to play today. So yeah, great job from our youngster there. And another positive for us, where we don't have a lot of options in midfield right now. We're still waiting on Thiago to come back. We're still waiting on Bajcetic to come back. Endo's at Japan right now on international duty. So we don't have a lot of numbers in that midfield. We've got young Bobby Clark as well in the back. We've got Elliott, but they're more advanced players. So in terms of that number 6 role, other than McAllister, Curtis Jones can do a job, but obviously we saw how great he was today further up. So it's good to have another player, another option for that role. So no, showed a great account of himself today. Curtis Jones, yeah, for me, a fantastic performance. Gets a goal, the header. That header looks easy on the eye, but I can tell you, it's not an easy goal to score just because of the way the ball arrived at him. It was lofted in the air, and he had to make sure that he guided it rather than putting too much power in it. The angle was a bit of a tight one as well, but he managed to header it down to the ground, so it has that bounce that could. I don't think the goalkeeper could have said it. If the header had no bounce whatsoever, I think it would have been saved by the keeper. But good executed goal there. The assist as well had a bit of a Trent-esque kind of pass where he just zipped it towards Jota on the other side of the pitch. I know the defender got a little touch, but yeah, it didn't really stop the move at all. Jota got the loose ball and smashed it into his left foot. So no, for me, a fantastic performance, a goal and assist for Curtis Jones. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Gravenberch for me was very impressive today. I feel like when I did the match reaction last week in the previous game, I saw a lot of improvements in Gravenberch's game. Maybe I gave him a lower score. I think I gave him a 7.5, which is not a bad score. It's just that I think he gave the ball away quite a few times. But in terms of his energy levels, you couldn't doubt it. This was the match against Fulham. But in this game, he was much better. He had better ball retention in this game. He drove the ball, had a couple of shots on goal, managed to get on the back of hit the back of the net towards the end of the game, which I feel like he's been trying his best to help out in terms of the goal scoring department. So no, fair play to him. A good all-round performance, and hopefully this gives him momentum to keep going. I know we've got Szoboszlai back in the team, but we'll need these players in these big games coming up. So today, I give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was very, very good today. Just going to go through some of the comments here. So Jay Kismet has given a 7 to McConnell. Good display on his full debut. Yeah, consider he's a young player, full debut. I thought he was fantastic today. Daz said McConnell an 8 out of 10, so same as my ranking there. Jay Kismet has given Jones an 8. And then Daz said Jamie said Thiago back next month. That's what I've heard as well, but there's no sort of certainty. I think he will be back next month in terms of full-on training, but in terms of a pen date or scheduled date in terms of when he returns to the first team fold, it's not confirmed right now because the injury that he suffered is something they still have to monitor, unfortunately. So no, and it's a player that you don't really want to rush into first team action just because of the long layoff that he's had. But let's see how it goes. Hopefully, we can see him next month. I'll be over the moon to see Thiago. I'll be waiting for Thiago this season. In this team as well, I think he'll really flourish. And yeah, another player like that in our team to help us try and get the quad. I'm all for it. Daz has given an 8.5, same ranking as me as well. Jay Kismet has given a 7 for Gravenberg, and then Daz has given Ryan Gravenberg a 7.5, maybe 8. So I've gone for 8. I thought he was fantastic today. I think he was better today than he was at Fulham, but that's just my opinion. In terms of up top, Jota for me was good today. Bit quiet in the first half, but I love the sort of the predatory instincts that he has as a player, where he comes to life and the ball's loose in the attacking box. The goal that he scored today, left footed one, clean strike, lovely finish from him. Had a couple of moments to score after as well. Had a couple of shots like around the 90th minute where he's just hit half volleys and they've all gone over the bar. But that's why we call him Diogo, because he always gets goals for the team. And yeah, love the fact that he's not even playing his natural. He's playing as on the right side, but he's got the freedom to roam around and get into good attacking position, which is great to see. So today, very impressive performance from Jota. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Nunes, for me, fantastic as well. I think he was very strong in the opening 10-15 minutes, and then had a bit of a quiet phase, but hard-working player. The goal, I really like the goal. When he took that first touch, I thought, maybe a bit too strong. But the thing with Nunes is when he's playing on instinct, he's lethal. So that was an instinctive finish where he got the first touch, but he knew that he needed to really pounce on that ball for that second touch or that shot and hit the target. And that's exactly what he did. Sometimes when he's got the ball in the attacking third where he's controlled it, he's trying to look around him, or he's trying to figure out, should I pass or should I take a touch and shoot? He's still trying to find that balance. But in the last 2-3 weeks, I think he's finding that balance. He's understanding the game better. He's understanding, when we need him to be a killer in front of goal, go for it. Don't be afraid to shoot when you need to shoot. So another solid performance from Darwin Núñez. So for me, he gets an 8 out of 10 today. Gakpo for me had a bit of a quieter game for me than normal. Normally, I feel like, especially on the left-hand side, is his preferred role. I expect him to do a bit more than what he showed today. But he was involved in the game, kept the ball moving, had a couple of shots that were blocked off. I had that chance where Bradley squared it to him. I feel like he should have scored in that one. That one should have hit the back of the net. But generally, a solid performance from Gakpo there. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in terms of my ranking here, or my ratings, I should say. Do you feel I've gone a bit overboard with some players, or feel like it's about right? Drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. Just going to go through some of the comments here. So Jay Kisman has gone for 7 for Jota, 8 for Darwin Núñez, and then Daz has gone for 8 for Jota, 8.5 for Núñez, and he's gone for 8 for Cody. So similar-ish ratings there from Daz and Jay Kismet there. What I'll do, I'll add on the subs. So let's go with, so who was the first sub? So it was Szoboszlai came on for Curtis Jones. So let's take off Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai. And then it was Konate for Van Dijk. And then we had Robertson for Joe Gomez. And then it was Darwin Núñez off for Trent. And then we had Mokono off for Diaz. So let me place the players in their correct position, because right now it's not looking like that. So yeah, so Gakpo ended up playing right wing at the end. Jota led the line. It was Diaz on the left wing, and then Trent played a double pivot. Szoboszlai was on the right side of the 8 row. Gravenberg was on the left. Robertson was there. Van Dijk normally occupies the left side of the defense. Kwanzaa was there. Bradley had a little stint up top in the right wing, but ended up being right back towards the end of the game. So yeah, so that's the final shape or final formation of the game. So let's start with let's start with Szoboszlai. So, yeah, good to see him back in the team. I think we've missed him. We've not had that sort of extra guy or edge from that midfield role. Midfielders, don't get me wrong, the likes of Jones, Elliott, Granberg have done a decent job, but I just feel like Szoboszlai is head and shoulders above the players there. It brings something different to the team. First contribution was a set piece for Van Dijk, who scores with a header. And he had a couple of chances where he drove with the ball. Didn't use his energy as much today. I think like he's a bit more of a composed performance from him. But yeah, that's what I want from him anyway. I don't want him to go 100 miles per hour on your first return. You know, we've got big games come out. So in this game, just keep the ball tidy, keep the possession for the team. And then when you have a chance to hit a through ball or make something happen with a shot, you know, that's why you're on the pitch. So for me, a solid performance from him. Grabbed an assist when he came on. So yeah, another good performance. I gave him an 8 out of 10. Van Dijk came on, scored a header, which was crossed by Szoboszlai. The goal, I wouldn't blame it on him. The goal that was scored by the winger, Broha Sainz, it was just a lovely hit shot. I think in terms of the space between Van Dijk and the player, I think it was right. He didn't need to really dive in for a tackle or anything because it didn't look like he was going to take a shot. So he kind of caught us a bit off guard. Just found that extra yard, curled it around, hit it with pure power into the goal. So I wouldn't blame Van Dijk or Alisson for that goal. Just got to respect the effort from the attacking player there. So in terms of Van Dijk's performance, yeah, I thought it was very solid. It was interesting to see that we were using him as sort of like a pinpoint target in set pieces where everything was going through to Van Dijk, whether he's trying to head it on goal or laying it off to another player. I think that's something we should utilize a lot more due to his height and stature. He's powerful around the 6-yard box, good in the air. So whether he's flicking onto another player, I do feel like that is something we need to deploy a lot more, and we should be able to get more goals from set pieces. So for me, his performance, give him an 8 out of 10 as well. Then we have Robertson. Good to see him back on the pitch. He's been out for 3 months now, I believe. So yeah, solid performance. Like similar to Szoboszlai, like whenever players come back from such a long layoff, I just want them to take it easy, not to go full flow. Show a good account of himself. Good touches on the left-hand side. So yeah, good to see him back on the pitch. Big question will be who does Jurgen Klopp start in the next fixture? Is it Robertson? Is it Gomez? We'll soon find out. But in terms of today's performance, I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. And then Trent came on. Good to see Trent on the pitch, playing right back, then playing as a midfield. Just the way he hits the ball as well. Yes, oozes quality. He's a head and shoulders above a lot of players in world football. So you're good to see him back in the team. A lethal weapon that we probably missed. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing him playing in upcoming games. We've got Chelsea and Arsenal in the near future. We've got Chelsea in a few days. So in terms of his performance, another solid one for me. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And Diaz probably wasn't expected to play, but due to McConnell's injury, we had to field another player on the pitch. So he came on the left wing. Didn't really do too much, to be fair. Didn't have a lot of time to make too much of an impression either. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. So that's my final ranking for today. I'm just going to go through the comments and then we can wrap up the show. So Jake Kismet says 6 for Gakpo. Was busy, but his finishing could have been better. That's a fair assessment. Finishing could definitely have been better. Daz has gone for 5 for Donald Szoboszlai. Maybe I'm just so excited to see him on the pitch. I've given him a high rating, but fair play if that's your score. Oh, sorry, you said 8.5 for Dom and Virgil 7.5. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I just got too excited. That makes more sense to me. So all right, fair enough. Szoboszlai 7 from Jake Kismet. Virgil 7 as well. Trent a 6, and then we've got a Robertson 6 as well, and then Daz has said 8.5 for Robertson, and then you're giving Trent a 9, which is quite high, and then you're giving Daz a 7.5. Diaz, sorry, a 7.5, which is fair enough. And then Jay Kismet says that he'd like to jump on. So yeah, jump on. I'll be here for another minute before we wrap up. But yeah, if you come on the next couple of minutes, yeah, I'll get you on the show. But yeah, that's my player ratings, guys. So even if you're not watching live, you're watching on replay, drop a comment with your scores, drop a comment in terms of what you thought of the game. Did you think there were some standout performances? Who really impressed you in this game? Because for me, Bradley was phenomenal today. So really good performance from him. And look, we've got some big games coming up soon. Robertson's back, which is such a great option for us. Trent is back. We've got Szoboszlai back. And then obviously Virgil van Dijk came on now, but obviously he's not been injured. So we've got three of our, let's be honest, first team players returning. Headache will be in terms of Klopp's selection. Does he stick with Joe Gomez? Does he stick with Conor Bradley? I think the Conor Bradley one, it's safe to say that Trent will come in and take his position. The Joe Gomez one is up for debate. I probably would start Joe Gomez in the next fixture and then play Robertson in the following one. But just slowly embed Robertson, play him from the bench rather than start him games so soon, because there's no urgency, there's no rush. We've got a player who's doing a fantastic job in Joe Gomez. And yeah, it's a team game. So for me, it's good to have these options from the bench. Yeah, an exciting prospect. You know, I think we were all thinking, you know, this sort of next two fixtures that are coming up, the last 7 games we played against Chelsea, they've all been draws. So hopefully we can break that spell and get a victory. That will definitely help with our title charge. And then we've got Arsenal as well. We've beaten them at the Emirates already this season. That was in the FA Cup. So why can't we do it in the Premier League? So look, a lot of positive thoughts to take in terms of going forward. I can see Jay Kismet in the back, so I'll bring him on the screen. Jay Kismet, how you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing fine, bro. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, feel free to say what you want. What did you think of the game today?
I think today was a nice day for Klopp. He was chilled. Yeah. I was just a bit annoyed that we let 2 goals in, but all in all, we scored 5 goals. It was sorted. I didn't want that we played bad, you know, for Klopp on his after the announcement and everything. So I'm happy the way it went.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the 2 goals the first one I just feel like we should have defended better. The second one it was a good strike, but yes, it's something we should really close up shop and not let those kind of chances be converted. So yeah, the 2 goals is a bit of a disappointment, but I just look at the fact that considering we had a very rotated team that was put up on the pitch, it's still a good job. We got the job done. So now I'm pleased with our result and performances. What did you make of the return of Szoboszlai, Robertson, and Trent on the pitch?
I was just happy that Szoboszlai got straight back into it. Yeah. I think Trent took about 3 or 4 passes to find his range. Yeah. Robertson stayed on the left and he just ran up and down, so it was all right, you know. But I think Szoboszlai out of the 3, he did the best. But I was just happy to see that Robertson's coming back now. I think people, I like Gomez at left back, but to have Robertson there as well, you can't mess with that. You know, it's good for the team.
Yeah. Who would you start in the next game at left back against Chelsea?
I'm starting Gomez. I think I'm comfortable with him there now. You know, I think for Robertson, I think after the Chelsea Arsenal game, you can bring Robertson back into the team. Yeah. I think the next 2 games very important that we keep it the way we have. You know, keep Gomez left. Problem for me. Would you play Trent on Wednesday against Chelsea at right back? That's the question.
I might do, you know. I think in terms of what I saw on the pitch today, I think because Robertson had a very long layoff, he's been out for 13 weeks. So that's 3 months. So, and it's a shoulder injury as well. So it's one of those ones where you don't want to rush in a player so soon, because if he's in a one-on-one duel with someone and he tries to bar someone out the way, that can definitely, you know, result to another further injury. You have to monitor those type of injuries where you don't want to aggravate any further, even though he's probably rehabilitated where he's back to normal, but just to be on the safe side. And obviously they're 2 top teams. Well, Chelsea probably not top team right now, but as in on paper, they're 2 teams that will have so strong opposition players for us. So I would probably play Trent on the Chelsea game, I wouldn't start Robbo. I'm agreeing with you on the left side. I'm comfortable to see Joe Gomez there. It's something that I said earlier on, where I'm just like, I don't like seeing him at left back because he cuts in and doesn't really. I don't think he has the skill set to do it week in, week out. I've been proven wrong. He's been phenomenal in that place. Yeah, he's just a pure defender that knows what to do. But even the fact that he attacks and he finds the balance where he knows when he needs to cut in or try and take a shot, because obviously he's trying to find that goal. But from his attacking point of view, he's finding good passes, good range with his distribution. So, no, very, very positive in terms of how he's performed.
Yeah, we're seeing the Gomez footballer now. Have you seen, like, when he plays football now? He's actually playing how he used to probably when he was like 14, 15, 16, actually playing the game. And I think him switching to the left back position gives him that chance to do that, because he got on his right. We talked about this last time, and I think it's been good for him. And I think him not in the defense in the team now, he's a starter for me, Gomez. You know what you're gonna get with him. So
you can't displace him now. Definitely not. Even when he plays on the right side, I feel like his passing lane is so much more better. Obviously, it's his more natural side. And I feel like his crossing has improved so much in the last 12 months. Last season, when we played him on that odd occasion at right back, last season we played him more centre back, and unfortunately that's where he made a lot of errors. But for me, he's a fantastic player to have, where he can play across the line. Every team has that kind of player. So the likes of United, they had John O'Shea doing that. For Real Madrid, you've got, what's his name, Nacho Fernandez, that does that as well. So it's good to have these kind of players that can play in different roles. But he plays at a very high level. In the fullback areas, it's just a sort of, Klopp has called him a lifesaver, and I can't lie, that is probably the right way to describe it, because if we didn't have Joe Gomez in these games,
I think we were done.
No, we'd have to play youngsters, and obviously I'm not saying they're not good enough, but it's a big mental toll on these players, because it's huge pressure playing for a team like Liverpool. So would they have been able to manage playing week in, week out? You know, the odd game here and there is fine, but playing 12 consecutive games, it might have been too much for them. It might have actually hindered their development, or maybe even affected their career in the long term. So, I'm very, very pleased in terms of how Joe Gomez has played. What have you made of? So we're playing either Watford or Southampton. I think that's probably a good tie. What did you make of the draw in the end?
To tell you the truth, draw worked out okay. I think Luton against City, tricky one. It's a tricky draw for them, because I think they only won 1-0 there last time.
Yeah,
I think Liverpool got a good draw. We got another first division team, Southampton unbeaten in 22.
Okay.
Yeah, they're on a mad run. Good team, but I think it's weird. Like today when Norwich scored, I actually laughed. Like I never laugh when a team scores against us. I laughed because I knew that we're going to score more goals. You just know. Yeah. I think, but I think the Southampton, if they'll be at home in the replay, of course, I think they'll win there. They'll beat Watford, and then it'll be a trickier game than today, I would say.
Definitely. No, definitely. No. A lot to look forward to. We spoke the other day about Klopp. Has the news still sunk in, or are you still processing it?
Oh, it's sunk in. But what it was when I actually had seen the interview on the day, when I seen his face, I thought, you know what, it don't matter. I just thought, you know what, you gotta just take care of yourself. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans are angry, bro. It's weird because you were saying that some Liverpool fans are angry, and I'm like, huh? I've not seen one yet. Then after when you said that, I actually seen quite a few Liverpool fans saying, he hasn't let us down, but there's something going on and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, when you can read facial expressions, his didn't look too good.
Yeah. I think people forget the human element when it comes to football, where you have to consider that, look, he's been in the game for about 24 years. Obviously, he managed at Mainz for 7 years. He managed at Dortmund for 7, pretty much 8 years now with Liverpool. Hasn't really taken a break. He's been doing jobs non-stop. In fact, when he left the Dortmund position, he became Liverpool manager a couple of months later. So he didn't really have a long layoff as such. So I feel like people forget that in terms of, he's human in the day. His energy is what keeps him going. That's what separates him from the best. That his energy levels is just on a different planet. So when you rely on energy so much, there is going to be a time and period where it's going to have an effect in your health. And look, I was seeing something online earlier on today where we've had managers in the past that have had health issues after leaving their position. So you've got the likes of Gerard Houllier, who had the heart issues after. Obviously, it might have not just been because of the Liverpool job, but the pressure and toll it has as well on these individuals, it's a lot. There's a lot of pressure being a Liverpool manager. It's not just, a Liverpool manager can't just solely rely on coaching. They've got to take a lot of factors involved. They have to have an input in recruitment, and that's probably what Klopp has said as well. Maybe he's been too involved, and that's why it came to a point where he felt like he wasn't even sackable. So I feel like the pressure really got to him. I think last season's failure probably made him think, you know what, I'm going to give it one more year. I actually think he would have left last summer if we had a good season. I think if we finished top 4, he'd have been fine. I've got them in the Champions League. That's good enough. But because we didn't qualify, because we had a midfield that was pretty much dead and buried, he thought, you know what, let me recruit the players and put them in a good position where, I set them up for the next few years, acquire some young players that are of good quality. We don't want to be in a situation where we're like thinking, oh my gosh, Klopp is gone. What do we do now? Like, we've got to have a plan in place as well. So now look, for me, I'm still processing it. I can't lie. I'm not like, that's why I haven't done any content to say, oh, who should be the next manager. I feel like it's not the right thing to say right now. For me, I'm not quite there yet. Maybe towards the later stage of the season, I'll do a show like that. But yeah, it's still a hard pill to swallow, to be fair.
Yeah, and when Klopp was at Dortmund, he was like, he said it in German, like, it's not when you come to a new club, it's like when you leave, what people say about you. I can say it in German if you want, because I can speak German. But so I can understand that. And I think if he left last year, all that work he's done before, well, it's just been like he just left when we were left and didn't even get Champions League. And so I think this season is very important for him to leave the club, definitely in Champions League position, but leave them with something to celebrate. Yeah, and I think he's that character, and I think also the Dortmund job, because he hasn't got the money to spend big, he has to replace that. He has to replace that with energy or his character and his personality for that lack of money in the transfer market at Dortmund and at Liverpool. Because at Dortmund he had Bayern to you know what I mean. So think about the players they get big players, and same as Man City. So I think that energy he's put into both of them jobs has taken a toll on the guy. So 100%. For me, no fan should even have anything bad to say about him. Oh, he should have stayed another year, this, that, and the other. He could have left today if he wanted to. I wouldn't say nothing. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. The Dortmund comparison is wild because literally all the players were moving on to Bayern Munich. So it's like selling your best players to your rivals is like the worst thing that can happen. But yeah, he calls his football heavy metal football, but it's his management style as well. He does it the same way, so it's going to have its toll on you. So no, for me, I'm a little bit disappointed in terms of the reaction I've seen. I feel like it's selfish from some people where it's like, oh, why can't you just, people question the timing and stuff. But the thing is, when is the right time to make this announcement? I would have found it bizarre if he did it early on in the season. I'd find it a bit weird to do it towards the end of the season because it's like, we're on the verge of doing something. Well, hopefully we'll be. This is probably the right time there's never a right time, let's be honest, but this is the time where it's not just him leaving. There's a lot of other people. So a lot of coaches that are leaving. There's a lot of people up top that are leaving as well. So it gives the club time to prepare, to find the right people in place because he informed the club in November. So that's why I think they've made this announcement in January. So it's like, we've got a few months ahead. Hopefully this kind of announcement will galvanize the squad even further because we're in all competitions right now. So you got to look at the positives where the team are probably going to go really hard for Klopp and say, look, we are going to do everything we can to end the season with some silverware and let it become a special season. Last season of Klopp, let's go for that last dance and make it happen. So for me, you got to look at the positives. Like, you got to look at where he's given his all in the last 8.5 years. So he doesn't need to he said in the interview that, I hope you accept my decision. I don't think you need to say that. I know why he said that.
Yeah.
But look, at the end of the day, it's your choice. You've done it on a personal ground. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Football, we love the game, but your health and your family comes first, right? So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with some fans that have gone a bit flip side in terms of the announcement. I know some people take these kind of news like they can't really process it, and so they, I don't know, think of it in the other way. But look, he's not going to be easy to replace. We spoke about, you touched on a few candidates that could come in place. Whoever comes in will not replicate what Klopp does. Even if they have that same philosophy, it's not going to be Jurgen Klopp. So we have to recruit someone that has a different ideas on the pitch, but effective at the same time. So, but this is something. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, like some fans are even saying Salah should go as well when Klopp goes, because they've seen in the last few games since Salah's not there, the way we be playing a bit different. You know what I'm saying? But I told these guys, if Salah wasn't there from the start of the season, we would not be in the position 100%. We are in now. And 100%. This is the modern day fan, bro. It's getting to a point now where I'm thinking you cannot keep fans happy. When a guy like Salah, and Klopp are getting dissed by Liverpool fans, that just shows you where the game's heading, And I think it's really embarrassing. And I don't really view these guys as Liverpool fans, actually.
Yeah.
Where's the respect gone?
Yeah, I agree. I question some fans where I feel like they love drama, so like they don't like to speak anything positive. It's just like they rather thrive on the negative aspect of the game. But I agree with you in terms of Salah. Just because we found a solution since his absence doesn't mean that he's not required anymore. Exactly. The amount of goals he scored this season. Listen, there were some important goals. His level of performances aren't, I'll put it honest, they're not as great as they have been in previous seasons, but he's getting the numbers for us. He's getting us the goals. He's getting us the wins. Obviously, that game against Tottenham should have been a win for us. Obviously, due to whatever happened, it isn't the case. But we've been fantastic. We've not really, I know we lost to Toulouse, but we haven't really been outplayed by anyone. Do you understand? So we've had players like Salah that's come on and won games for us at pivotal times. He's been more of a playmaker this season. He's actually enhanced his game, his skill set. He's more of a playmaker now. He's attacking the byline and setting up players even more. So what more do you want? Like, he's reinventing himself every year. Like this year, he's got the goals to match it, but he's got the assist that's pretty much like for like in terms of goals now. I think it's 14 and 8 or something like that. So I don't know.
Have you noticed though? Like I can understand a philosophy of that, because I feel okay when Darwin plays. You've seen him today. He wasn't thinking. He was turning around, bang,
instinctive.
And he did that in the Fulham game as well. So I think he tries to find Salah too much in the game. I think him not playing with Salah for a few games might bring that bang bang back to him. You know what I'm saying? Possibly. And when Salah does come back, and because for me they got a good relationship, them guys on the pitch, they play well together. But I think Darwin needs to be a bit more selfish. Have a bit of a more selfish streak in him.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree. I think with Darwin Núñez and Salah, they do have a great relationship. So I think a lot of the assists that Salah has presented to the team is actually gone to Núñez, and he's actually scored. So they've definitely formed a relationship. Yes, it could be a thing where that is one thing with Darwin Núñez, and I mentioned this earlier on, where when he's instinctive, he's very lethal. But when he's thinking about too much, I'm not even talking about finishing. Like when he's got the ball, he's thinking, should I pass to him? Should I pass to him? Like sometimes, if you're in the middle of the pitch and you can create a half yard and shoot, go for it. Because right now we've got players in our team that can score outside the box. We didn't have that kind of midfield before. Our midfield before was an engine room where keep it compact and don't let teams go past us. Now we've got technicians in our team that can really ping the ball around, shoot from distance, score all types of goals. You know, we had that game against Fulham where we won 3-2. McAllister, Endo, you know, scoring bangers in that game as well. Yeah. So for me, with really tuned up in our midfield, and I feel like even our attack with Darwin Núñez, it's just a confidence thing. It's finding the balance in terms of the type of shooting. So sometimes he blazes the ball for me too much, but now I want him to think about placing the ball, finesse in his finishing, and he's finding that balance now. To be fair, the Bournemouth game where he scored 2 goals was evident of that, and that was a good sort of performance from. I think that's probably one of the stand-up performances in terms of finishing, and yeah, be a bit more instinctive in front of goal. But that will come. I think the more game time he plays, the more he's understanding how the game plays, or the game in terms of how Liverpool play. I think he'll get better, and I think he gets unfair criticism. It comes from rival fans more so than anything else. I think Liverpool fans, whenever we see someone on the pitch that gives it their all every time, we always applaud them every time. So you always get some section that's never happy. You just mentioned it yourself. Some people aren't happy with Salah, and they'd rather sell him to Saudi. So, how can you appease those type of fans when they're not happy to have one of the best players in world football, in my opinion? So they're happy to or ready to cash in on him to go Saudi. I'm not. I think he's still got so much to do in the game, in my opinion. Like Saudi is like a retirement home. You go there and get your last paycheck, and you're pretty much done. He's got so much to do in this game. So,
and for me, the next manager that comes in, what's he gonna say about? Does he want Darwin? Does he want Salah? And for me, to not shake the boat too much or rock the boat, I'd say, you got to keep the spine of the team. Alisson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, you got to keep them guys there. So the new manager comes in, he settles in, he says, oh, okay, what are you guys, because I always see the way we've been playing this year, not brilliant, but we're getting results. The next guy that comes in, he needs to think, you know what, I don't really need to fiddle around too much. I just need maybe twerk it a little bit, but all in all, keep it as it is. And I think that's very important. The next guy that comes in, he don't change it 100%, and it's like rock the boat so much that we're getting beaten next season. So very important decision with the owners now. Do you think that they've already got someone lined up? I think they have. I think it's already sort of done.
I think they have. My gut feeling says Alonso, but I think they're looking for a sporting director to match that ambition, because the sporting director will be, I think, even more vital than the actual manager, because the director of football will kind of present the strategy in the long term, and the coach will do what needs to be done. So director of football needs to be appointed, I think, firstly, to be fair, because a lot of changes are happening up top. I can see it being Alonso. I just got a gut feeling it's Alonso, because I just feel like he ticks all the boxes, in my opinion. There are other managers that have the skill set to do a good job at Liverpool. I feel like because he's a former player, he knows the fan base. He knows what the expectations are required at Liverpool. That gives him an advantage. I know some fans are saying, "Oh, he's not experienced," but I don't buy that. He's been an elite player for so many years. Like, it's not like he's never played for Liverpool. He's played for Liverpool. He knows what it's like. So I think he's more than ready to take this job. I think they've had discussions with Alonso. That's just my gut instinct. And I don't think they'll announce it anytime soon. It'll probably be announced in the sort of ending of the season. But I think the director of football, interested to see who they get on board, because I don't think it'll be George Mashka that stays on. It will be someone else that comes on. So interesting.
There's 2 choices. I think Edwards and what's his name? Rafnik? Manchester United.
Manchester United, yeah. I wouldn't mind.
A lot of people respect him. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him, to be fair. I know he didn't have a great stint at United, but in terms of his philosophy, like it's what we want, isn't it? So I think the Bayer Leverkusen was actually one that we were linked with previously as well. There's the guy at Monaco that we were also linked to, Paul Mitchell, I think his name was. And there was another fella from I think Salzburg. I think the current Salzburg one as well. So there are a few names out there. I might even do a show on it and just we can kind of touch base on that a bit more. But yeah, there are names out there. I think the sporting director is going to be key, and kind of seeing their track record in terms of what type of players they acquire. Even in terms of managerial positions, I think it will be Alonso. That's just my gut instinct. If it wasn't Alonso, I'd probably want someone like De Zerbi. I feel like he would fit the mold in terms of what we want, because in terms of how he's been at Brighton and even his previous club at Sassuolo as well, he loves to promote young players. Like, he promoted, I think, over 20 players when he was at his previous club. So, and in terms of how he plays the game, I think, I feel like he could do the job. But for me, first choice is Alonso. That's the one that I want. I think he ticks all the boxes. Some may say that he doesn't play that sort of heavy metal football, but if you watch his Bayer Leverkusen games, they're very tactically astute. They adapt to the opposition and they find a way to win. And is that not what we want from our team as well? So, look, it's going to be an interesting few months. I'm sure me and you will discuss it more so when we get some more news. But Jay Kismet, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate speaking to you. Appreciate coming on. And yeah, hopefully we'll speak very soon.
Take care, bro.
Take care. Have a good evening. So yeah, so that's Jay Kismet. Yeah, discussing some good points there. Obviously the game itself, but even thinking long term about the club in terms of who could be the next managerial position, who will fill that void. That Klopp will leave at the end of the season. Director of football, I mentioned, is a big one. That's something I could probably highlight for you guys into the who could be potential candidates. Yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to. But right now, I'm just enjoying the ride in terms of how Liverpool are doing. That's why I haven't done an instance of who's going to be the next manager content. It will come in due time. But right now, I'm enjoying the games that we're playing. I'm enjoying Klopp in the last few months. And yeah, I'm hoping we can do something special. The last dance, as I've phrased it earlier on, under Klopp. So yeah, let's make sure we can make it happen for him. Let's make sure we can end it on a high note. It's not even about the number of trophies. It's just that make it into a special season. So he leaves on a big high, the biggest high he can. So yeah, so that's just my thoughts. That was my match reaction. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Daz and Jay Kismet with the comments. Appreciate, and also an alternative contrarian as well. Thank you for your comments. To appreciate your participation. Just got a comment here from Daz. Final comments there. Will there be any more FIFA streams, Ozzie? So yep, there will be some more. I completed the career mode for Liverpool. Won the Europa League. That one didn't go to plan in terms of my other campaigns. So yeah, I might do another one. It might not be a career mode. It might be something different. Nothing planned for this week. It might be the following week. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. So everyone, make sure you hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. Follow me on social media for any further updates. So you can follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter/X, or you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. In terms of upcoming content this week, as I mentioned, games coming thick and fast. So no show planned for tomorrow. If there is, I'll let you guys know on social media. Tuesday, I'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Chelsea. Wednesday will be the match reaction of that game at 10 p.m. UK time. Thursday, I'll be doing a match preview of Arsenal versus Liverpool. And then on Sunday evening, I'll be doing a match reaction of Arsenal and Liverpool. Will be same time, 10 p.m. as well. So yeah, so that's the weekly schedule for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.